Vedantu Chankalevara Patadiyati Varya Vayamatma Namastadi
Tadam. Tantam. Param.
Patadiyati Varya Vayamatma Namastadi.
Krimi, insects, germs, beet, stool, basma, ashes, nishta, attachment, antam, at the end. What is idam, this body, tucham, very insignificant, kalevaram, material tabernacle, qua, what is that? Tadiyaratim, attraction for that body. Bharya, wife. Qua ayam, what is the value of this body? Atma, the Supreme Soul. Navachadi, all pervading like the sky. Through proper deliberation, one should give up the attraction to his wife's body, because that body will be ultimately be transformed into small insects, stool, or ashes. What is the value of that insignificant body? How much greater is the Supreme Being who is all-pervading like the sky? Per Prabhupada, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Here also the same point is stressed. One should give up attachment for his wife, or in other words, sex life. If one is intelligent, he can think of his wife's body as nothing but a lump of matter that will be ultimately be transformed into a small insect, stool, or ashes. In different societies, there are different ways of dealing with the human body at the time of the funeral ceremony. In some society, the body is given to the vultures to be eaten, and therefore the body ultimately turns to vulture stool. Sometimes the body is merely abandoned, and in that case, the body is consumed by small insects. In some society, the body is immediately burned after death, and thus it becomes ashes. In any case, if one intelligently considers the constitution of the body and the soul beyond it, what is the value of the body? Antavanta imedeha nitya shokta sharirina. The body may perish at any moment, but the soul is eternal. If one gives up attachment for the body and increases his attachment for the spirit soul, his life is successful. It is merely a matter of deliberation. Krimibis bashmanish nishantam kwadantu chakalevaram kwatadiyaratir bharya kyayanatma navaschadi. Therefore, Through proper deliberation, one should give up attraction to his wife's body because the body will ultimately be transformed into a small insect, a stool, or ashes. What is the value of this insignificant body? How much greater is the Supreme Being who is all-pervading like the sky? Om Jnana-timirandasya Gnana-Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading these quite heavy verses. So I will speak from the theoretical point of view. I don't have full realization of this. I was happier for Adoksha Prabhu to give a class because for sure he got more realizations than me. But anyway, we all have small realizations being in the material body since time immemorial. So we read in the previous verse, in the 12th, how somebody who conquered the attachment to woman, he conquers the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is a very, very strong statement. Excuse me. That shows how strong is that attachment for the opposite sex, for the sex life, is such a strong attachment that if you manage to overcome that attachment, then you conquer the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada started the purpose saying that we should give up attachment to the wife. And this is this is something we cannot say publicly in a first time or beginner's class. This is something that only devotees can understand. Because the whole program of Varna Ashram encourage family life. And why family life is important? Because that create value to society, that create protection, and create a sense of security for security and next generations, that the society will continue to survive and to have good progeny. That's always emphasized in many scriptures, not only in the Vedic scripture, but in the Bible and so many holy scriptures. And we see that even in normal society, when a politician assumes his role as a president, it is very important that he show his pictures with his wife and kids. It's very important because this is what people will see. Oh, he's a moral man, he's a family man, and this gives a great importance and sense of somebody who is very responsible and who will be responsible for the country. So this is like very, we can say amongst devotees, like very confidential knowledge. And we see that Rishabhadeva was very famous, like Rishabhadeva is talking, that he will say things without any filter. He will say things as they are. And we can understand that from the beginning also of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explained in chapter 2 the difference between the soul and the body, and how the body is insignificant compared to the body, but in society is the opposite way. We give importance to the body and we neglect the soul. And this is why we have problems. And always Prabhupada gave the nice example. He said that if you polish and paint a cage of the bird, but you don't feed the bird, then bird will die, and then what's the point of having a cage? There is no point. It's useless. Nobody keep a cage just as a decoration. The point of keeping a cage is because you have a bird there that is singing every morning. So, but this is what's going on, that we give importance to the body, but we neglect which is really important. And we should understand what is the nature of the body as well. We know that the body will perish. Prabhupada said, today or tomorrow will perish. And what will happen to the body? There are, Prabhupada said, different destinations to the body according to the society. In some places, they will bury the body, like this is a custom in the West. But if you go to places like India and other countries, they burn the body to ashes. And in other society, they just throw the body in the field. Like I know in some countries where the people cannot afford a funeral ceremony, they just put the body anywhere. And then family cannot even find it if they want to go to pay their respects or whatever. So the destination of the body is just will die, and that's it. But we are very much attached to this body. And through knowledge, to spiritual practice, we should eventually give up this attachment to the body. There was a case when the devotee was telling in Mumbai. There was a couple living in an apartment, and all of a sudden the husband died. But that was in the evening, so they were, everybody came there, and they were planning to do the cremation next day. But the wife, she went to the neighbor's house, and she asked, "Can I sleep with you tonight? Because I'm scared to be with the body all night, with the dead body all night." But that was her husband. She lived with him for 40 years. Same body, nothing changed. Same body she was living with was there just lying down, dead. And she was scared of it. Why is that? Why? And the reason is that the real beauty is not in the body. The beauty and the connection is always with the soul. But we only see the body. And we don't understand that the actual beauty. The same happened with the husband. If the wife dies, the husband has nothing to do, doesn't want to do anything with that body. Even though the beauty is there, the beauty is still there, nothing has changed, but there is no connection there. There is no real beauty anymore, because the beauty is in the soul. So these are the things that Rishabhadi is explaining to his sons and to society in general, that we should give importance to the soul and to the activities of the soul. And the more we become detached from the body, and we see like people who are really, really advanced in spiritual life are detached from the body. They are not concerned with the body. Even though the body is an important vehicle to help us to reach our perfection, and we should take care of the body, but we see so many cases in the Vedic literature where the devotee of these great soul yogis or whatever, they were completely detached from the body. And we have the case like I think it was Vasudev, isn't it, that he got leprosy or some, I don't remember the disease, but he has worms in his body, and the worms were falling out of his body, and he will put them back. He said, poor worms, they have nothing to eat, so I should feed them. Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami was not Vasudev Datta. Yeah, yeah, Vasudev, that. So yeah, and this is, but this attraction, especially emphasized here, is that attraction to the opposite sex and to the wife is so strong that it's very difficult to realize that. Very difficult to realize the nature and temporality of this body. And man to trying to enjoy woman and woman trying to enjoy man, forgetting that one day that will finish and only the attachment will remain. And then this attachment will be transferred to someone else. And we see that especially very famous people, they go from marriage to marriage. They marry a very beautiful woman, very famous, very rich, and then after a few years, they go to another woman. Why? Because there is a simple fact that another body cannot give you happiness. No matter how beautiful a body is, cannot give you happiness. So people, Prabhupada said, like chewing the chew, they go from one, Prabhupada also gave example, like a monkey going from one branch to the other, trying to enjoy the fruits, and then the juice finished and they go to another tree and trying to enjoy another fruit. But this doesn't give happiness. It's just the same things over and over and over again. And we have been in this material world since time immemorial trying to enjoy the opposite sex. We have been since time immemorial. And there is no happiness. We see that no one in the material world is happy, even though the people who got the most beautiful companions and all the material opulences, still they cannot be happy. They cannot give satisfies. And we see this in the Vedic, like when Ravana kidnapped Sita. And the only reason Ravana kidnapped Sita is because his sister described her as the most beautiful woman. And Ravana, he had access to all the women in the world, not only in this planet, but even the heavenly planet, which are described as incomparable compared to the women in this world. And he had many beautiful wives, but still, he thought, oh, there is something I don't have. There is something more beautiful. So he went and kidnapped Sita, and the whole Rakshasa race was destroyed because of this, because of the power of a woman. And we see also in society how the woman and the power of the woman is always underestimated. We say, just a woman. And previously was even more. Now there is more like, how do you call it? Equality, human rights, and all these kind of things. Before there was nothing like that. Just a woman. People used to say like that. But we see that behind every powerful man in history, there was always a woman. And how many women started a war? We even have this case of, what's her name? Helen, that she started this Troja. Remember when they sent the horse to Troja? You say Troja, how do you pronounce this? Adoksha Prabhu? Troja horse. Yeah. And all started because of a woman. Helen, she was kidnapped by the opposite party, and then as an act of revenge, they sent this horse with all the soldiers, and they opened the gates from inside, and they kill everyone. And the whole city was destroyed, and everyone was killed because of a woman. And so even though the role of the woman in history has been underestimated, actually a woman is very powerful. And we see also there was these two demons. I forgot their names. Maybe Prabhu will remember these two demons, that they were like they were brothers, and they were unconquerable. Nobody could kill them. They were like one soul in two bodies. They were doing everything together, but they were torturing everyone because they were so powerful. And then finally, the demigods, they decided to send a woman who started playing with them and seducing them. And then she was seducing one, and then the other one was getting jealous and we started to quarreling, and then she went to the other one, and like that. And in the end, she caused the destruction of these two brothers. They start to kill each other because nobody could kill them. They kill each other, practically. And this is only because of a woman. So women are very, very powerful. And Prabhupada called it that. This is a morbid attraction. When we feel attracted to the opposite sex, this Prabhupada call it a morbid attraction, because that attraction, this attraction actually doesn't exist. We attract to the beauty of the soul, which is in that body, but we think that this attraction is just to the body, but there is no beauty in the body itself. It's just like a dress. So Prabhupada called it that morbid attraction. And we should understand that the only way to give up this attachment is to get attached to something which is eternal, which doesn't fail, which will not die one day, which will not be consumed by insects, which will not be transformed to ashes. And this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Being who is all pervading like the sky, like is written in this verse. So this is the only way to give up this attachment. Otherwise, it's impossible. No one can surpass this attraction, even for Lord Shiva. We see that even Lord Shiva was one time attacked by Cupid. This is a famous pastime. And nobody can fail, nobody can escape. If Cupid attack you with his arrow, that's it, you are done. There is no way you cannot be conquered by those arrows of attraction to the opposite sex. This is the business of Cupid, what he's been doing since time immemorial, just giving this attraction between male and female by shooting his arrows. So one time somebody told Cupid, "Oh, this is what you are doing is very easy. Why you don't try with Lord Shiva? He's very composed, he's self-control. Why you don't try to shoot one of your arrows to Lord Shiva?" So he did so, but when Shiva realized that, he opened his third eye and he burned Cupid to ashes. And since then, Cupid had been without body, just with the subtle body. But he's still affecting everyone, but he's without a gross body. So he could not tempt Lord Shiva. But we see when Krishna appeared as a beautiful woman, as Mohini Murti, Lord Shiva became mad and he ran after her. Even she said, "No, I don't want anything to do with you." He ran after her. And this is a very well-known pastime for the devotees. So Krishna is the only one who can conquer the heart of the living entity and not the material body. The material body is a temporary attraction, but this attraction to Krishna is eternal, because the soul is eternally, a servant of Krishna is eternally engaged in any type, in any of the 5 relationship with Krishna. So this is a natural thing. To be attracted to another body is not natural, it's unnatural. And is Prabhupada said many times, is caused by madness. It's called by madness. Because in the material world we are all mad. Because we are going through the we are looking for the happiness, but the happiness is not there. The happiness exists, but it's not there. And he said that this is like sometimes animals in the desert, they see water, they see that the happiness is there, and they run looking for that water, but the water is not there. They keep running the whole life. Or Prabhupada, they gave a nice example. I read that in one of the Back to Godhead, the example of the mask deer. There is a special deer that there is some aroma coming from his body, and this is what we call is the musk. If you know this perfume musk. And this deer, he doesn't know where this aroma is coming from, and the more he sweat, the more he feel this aroma, and he's running here and there, everywhere, looking for this aroma, but he cannot never find it. And this is Prabhupada saying that this is like us in the material world. We see that there is some happiness somewhere, and we keep running here and there, but we never find this happiness. And the only happiness is when we understand that we should stop searching for happiness. This is Prabhupada said, this is a beginning of happiness, when you stop searching for happiness. And we understand that the happiness within, happiness is and the peace of mind. Happiness is when we understand that Krishna is the supreme controller. Otherwise, these are just momentary happiness that doesn't give satisfaction to the soul. Chapala sukala bala gire is like just drops of water in the ocean. We want water. We are thirsty. We want enjoyment. Everyone wants enjoyment. There is no one who doesn't want to enjoy. But this happiness that can give another body is just like drops of water. It doesn't quench the thirst. It only increases it. And that's why we become more and more greedy in the material world. We want more and more because we are never satisfied. No matter how much you have, you're never satisfied. You are always looking for more. Until you lose everything, like sometimes happen when people lose everything, then they realize, oh, maybe there was no real happiness. Maybe I need to look for something else. And this is also what happened, is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam to the Abhanti Brahmana. Did you hear about the Abhanti Brahmana? It's a famous story in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Abhanti Brahmana was a Zamindar. He was a very rich man. But he was very miser. He never buy any saris for his wife or for his family. They were all wearing rags. And he never took good care of himself. He didn't need good food because he wanted to save money. And he never buy a nice house because he wanted to just accumulate. So he was accumulating his whole life. He was actually living a miserable life because he has so much money, but he didn't buy anything. He never bought anything with that money. He was just living with the very basic. But one day he went for a trip, and then all his family members, they come and they plundered all the riches, all the boxes he had with the jewels and all kind of things, valuable things. And they took everything away. So when he came back from his trip, of course he was devastated to see that, he had been accumulating so much riches, and now everything is gone. I don't have a penny left. But he did something good. He thanked Krishna for this. He said, there is a superior purpose behind this. Now I'm poor, so now I can take sannyas. So he went and he took sannyas. But people didn't believe him because they knew this guy is a miser. So maybe this is another of his scheme to scam people. Like, sometimes I've seen this in India. I said that I think I mentioned that in one class. I saw that in Haridwar. I saw a man dressed as a sannyasi, and then I saw him going to a house, and I saw he had a wife and kids. I couldn't believe it. And he was dressing like all orange, like a sannyasi. So people that just take this, sometimes this sannyas dress as a means of livelihood to maintain themselves, because people had the tendency to give donations to a sannyasi, obviously. So they thought, oh, this is just a scheme to make money, and he wants to eat, and people will come and take his rice, and the kids were mocking him, and they were throwing things at him. But anyway, the point is that in the end, he really became detached, and he took full shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is what happened when you are destitute of any opulence and any beauty, and there is nothing left. And this is what also Queen Kunti used to say. There is this. Queen Kunti will say that unless you're deprived of beauty, riches, she mentioned six qualities that are very prominent and that everyone is hankering for. Unless you are totally deprived of any opulence, you cannot address the Lord with sincere feelings. You cannot search for Krishna with sincere feelings, because if you have opulence, if you have beauty, if you have any of these qualities, normally you get bewildered. And then it's very difficult, because Krishna is only conquered when you have no other shelter. Krishna only accepts to be conquered when you have nothing else than Krishna. And we see that in many cases, this is just a case, like when they were trying to undress Draupadi, was it Draupadi, yeah? That he was trying to be undressed by the Kauravas. And in beginning, she was trying to keep the attachment. She was trying to keep her sari. But in the end, she completely gave up, and she said, okay, Krishna. And she took full shelter of Krishna. In that moment, Krishna gave full protection. So this is the way to, if we want to know what is the way to conquer Krishna, is to offer everything to Krishna and to engage whatever we have, whatever opulence we may have in the service of Krishna. And only then Krishna will be pleased by our service. Otherwise, we're just keeping attachments. We keep always attachment, and on the side we serve Krishna, but that's not the way to conquer Krishna. Krishna's only conquer is written here when we give up completely the attachment to the material world. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayochita. They said that the more you serve Vasudeva, the more you become detached from this world. So this is not something we can do parallel. We cannot serve Krishna at the same time, keep all our attachments. So we need to choose. We need to choose one boat, and then we can get the final destination, which is the lotus feet of Krishna. And this is the most precious goal. Everything else is temporary. Every other relationship is temporary. And there is a example that when Yoko Ono, the wife of John Lennon, approached Srila Prabhupada, actually both approached Srila Prabhupada, and they were so attached to each other, husband and wife, they were so attached to each other. And they asked Prabhupada, can you please tell us that we will continue our life together after we die? And Prabhupada said, that's impossible. That's impossible. Because after we die, that's it. Everyone follow their own destiny. Like Prabhupada said also, it's like bubbles on of foam on the ocean. They are together for one moment, and then another moment they are separate. When the next waves come, then they are separate. So we cannot remain together with anyone in this material world, even the most dear one. So the only one who is there since time immemorial next to us is Krishna, and he will always be there. He will always be there for us. And he always will reciprocate with us and give us what we need, because we have needs. We need this affection, we need this that we normally look for that in the opposite sex, but this cannot be given fully. Only Krishna can give this what we are hungering for. And that's why this is a very important thing that we should understand. And Prabhupada many times said, believe me when I tell you that you are not this body. And we think this is something so simple. Of course I understand I'm not this body. I understand that. But it's so difficult to realize. We understand it. We understand that the body is just like a dress, but it's so difficult to realize. And that's why we are attached to the body. No matter what happens, we are attached to the body. Even great souls, they remain attached until the end of their life. And sometimes Krishna make an arrangement, like in the Avanti Brahmana, to cut out everything. So finally we realize, okay, there's nothing else. I just want to go back to Krishna. There is nothing else that can hold me back. But until we get to that realization, we need to keep practicing Krishna consciousness, because that's the only way to conquer that attachment, and that they can give us this sense of self-satisfaction that we are always looking for. Anyway, I will finish here. We started earlier class, so we can finish it maybe a little bit early. If any question or comment.
In the story of the Avanti Brahmin, then he responded in the right way, but people generally in the material world are losing things all the time, and instead of becoming less attached, they become more attached. So it seems that he must have had some special mercy, or he must have acquired some kind of sukriti. There must have been something there, and then Krishna made that arrangement for him, you know.
Yeah, because he had the knowledge. That's the difference. He had the knowledge, because people don't have this understanding. Like I have this discussion with my mother a few weeks ago, because she's like prepaying for her funeral, but she wants to be cremated. So I said, okay, after you're cremated, I want to take the ashes and I want to bring them to a holy place. And she said, no, I don't want that. I want to stay next to my family in this, in my country. I don't want to go to any other, place. And I was saying, but this is, I know this is the best for you. And I'm still trying to convince her that after she died, I can take the ashes to Yamuna, to Ganga. I did that with my father's ashes. I took them to Vrindavan. But she's so attached to, like Prabhupada said, no, we are attached to the country, place we were born, that we don't understand that that's not helpful for our spiritual life. There are other options. But the difference with the Avanti Brahmana is that he had the knowledge. He knew because of his previous activities, spiritual activities. He understood that this is, and he knew that Krishna is the supreme God. But normal materialistic people, they don't understand. And they may lose everything. They just become miserable. But they don't necessarily go to God. They don't necessarily turn to God. They just become more and more miserable. Which one? Which story?
John Lennon, when he died, an astrologer said he took birth as a dog in Sweden. So if Yoko wanted to join him, she'd have to lose the human form of life and run around Sweden, wagging her tail.
Yeah. There is also another story, very, very interesting. Is the story of Kala Krishna Das that is mentioned. I think that's in Chaitanya Charitamrita, no? Kala Krishna Das. That he was traveling with Lord Chaitanya. And can you imagine, he was there with the Supreme Personality of God himself. But they came some, they call it Bataharis. They are some type of gypsies. This gypsy woman, they came and they seduced him and they took him away from Lord Chaitanya. So that shows how powerful is the material energy, that you can be with the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, traveling with him, serving him, and still you can be deluded by this kind of attraction. So luckily, Lord Chaitanya, he dragged him back. But this is how careful we should be, and we should always think that only by Krishna we can overcome that. We should never think that, oh, I'm so powerful now, I'm so spiritually strong that I can conquer. We should never think like that. We should always be dependent on Krishna, because we see in so many examples that is the case, that material energy is very strong, like Kala Krishna Das, even though he was there in the best possible position, and still he got bewildered. He got bewildered by some woman. I saw recently a video of a woman who was criticizing ISKCON. And I wanted to make a video counter attacking that video, because many things that she said, they were just out of context. And then she was saying that, yeah, in the Hare Krishna society, they look down upon woman and they spit on woman. And this is in the scriptures. And you know what she was referring to? She was referring to Jamunacharya when he said, whenever I think about sex desire, I just spit on that thought. So she was referring, and she was thinking that literally the devotees, they do like this. When they see the woman, they just spit on the woman or something like that. And she said like that. So see, oh my God, this is so out of context. Because we should understand that men and women are equally important as spirit souls. And it's not that man should look down at woman because they are the Maya force. We should understand they are agents. They can be an agent of Maya, but if they are engaged in the service of Krishna, then they are as good as the man. And so there is so many misunderstandings. Often people misunderstand Krishna consciousness, and and the role of the woman in the in our society, like this woman who was saying that, yeah, they spit on woman, but that's not the case. That's not the case. He was talking about the thought of engaging in sexual activities with a woman will disgust him, because now he already have a taste for Krishna consciousness. And they said that when you develop that taste for Krishna consciousness, and then this material enjoyment become totally insignificant. They become totally insignificant because there is so much pleasure to hear about Krishna, to chant the holy name, to practice any of the processes of Krishna consciousness. So much pleasure there that even the sexual enjoyment becomes totally insignificant. And this was what Jamunacharya was showing. Yeah.
The section is called Ideal Family Life. So, and that was 5,000 years ago that was spoken. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that we don't have to take sannyas. We can just stay if our wife's a Vaishnava. So, is it in the more recent application of what is ideal family life? Is ideal family life that the Grihastha couple, they become vanaprasthas and they just stay as vanaprasthas, because as a couple they can mentor people, they can mentor couples, whereas if the man takes sannyas, then it's more difficult for like married couples to approach. So although the ideal then was sannyas, is the ideal now vanaprastha.
Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Yes. This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that this is the safest position in Kali Yuga, because this is sannyas, even though initially you could be renounced, later on, because of fame, prestige, adoration, money, you can get bewildered. And we see this happen in every society, in every spiritual society. And not only in ISKCON, but in every Gaudiya, in every spiritual society, even Christian. When people get power, get fame, they get bewildered, even though in the beginning they were renounced. So ideal situation is in Kali Yuga is Grihastha life. But we should see about our tendency. Gauranga Prabhu from Chopati, he was saying something interesting. They asked him, one Prabhu asked him, he was studying, and he said, what shall I do? Shall I get married or shall I remain single? And he said, if you have only Krishna in your mind, stay single. But if in your mind you have your family, you have an attachment for a woman, then get married. This is how we measure. But if you only want Krishna and we only have Krishna in our mind, then that's also the best position to be single, because there are no distractions. You can fully focus. But if there are distractions and we are attached, then better family life, because so much suffering will get you there, and because the knowledge is there, we may have the chance, like Avanti Brahmana, to realize that and to take the proper steps after giving up family life.
And also, it seems that initially it may be lust that drives us into the ashram, and then as we serve together, the lust diminishes in proportion to the respect, and as the respect develops more and more for each other, then to engage in sensual activity becomes detrimental to that respect. You have so much respect for the person that to do that would be almost like rasa basa. It would like so much interfere with the fact, and then and it works therapeutically because their love develops into a purer level where it's not based more upon gratifying the senses. It's interesting, isn't it, in the living exchange of sex that was mentioned. Hearing was mentioned, inquiring, offering the child, giving the gifts, but real living exchange is nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember Mahadyuti now Maharaj, he says something. He said, I heard a quote by Prabhupada, but I never read that quote. He said, but suppose Prabhupada said that we married for one reason, but we stay married for another reason. Everybody get married because of attraction. At least for the man, that's mostly the case. Because mans are, sorry to say, we are stupid. So we normally just feel attracted by external. Man feel attracted to a woman because she looks beautiful. This is just stupid. But we are like this. This is the nature of man. Woman is more interested in character and status and other things. Even though that's what we see sometimes. A very ugly man married a very beautiful woman. A very rich man married a very beautiful woman, because how they connect is different. Man is attractive for beauty, and woman is attractive for other things, not necessarily external beauty. And that's why they often commit very big mistake, because they marry a woman who is very beautiful but not a good character, and then there is a big trouble, because we are not very intelligent in that way. So I don't want to offend anyone, but this is a man's nature. Okay, so Prabhupada said that we marry for this one reason, but we stay married because of duty, because we need to give a good example to society, and nobody is attracted to his wife, no matter how she beautiful is, forever. It's a lie. I remember my father saying, after 45 years married to my mother, I love you like a first day. I heard him one time saying this to me, and I thought, you are lying, man. You are lying. I know you're lying. I mean, the attachment is there, but nobody's attached to his wife forever, because a body change, she become ugly, he also become ugly, and there is no attraction, external attraction anymore at one point. And a man, he may say that, but we know he's lying, and we are very good at it. Mans are also very good, but the attachment is still there, but not this external attraction is temporary thing. But we need to stay married because of duty, because this is a right thing to do for society, for family, for everyone. Hare Krishna, welcome. Yes, bro. You want to say? Yeah.
Just one quick story was that Mom was telling the story of how you get through married life. And she said that the gopis were taking cases of Dasa and the Jews was overflowing. So they went to Krishna, and they said, how are we going to get past? He said, just don't do the babies to sell the ground. Coming back, it was all arranged. So this is the lesson. I said, just tell them that the lesson we get at 10.
Yeah.
She said, that's how you get through my life, by telling lies.
Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki